Good afternoon, everyone. Today we are going to discuss about the topic name is called as DBMS. DBMS. DBMS stands for Database Management System. Okay. The main purpose of the DBMS is called as to creating the data, inserting the data, updating the data, manipulating the data. That purpose we have to use for the DBMS concept, database management system. Nowadays the software employers creating the different types of software tools. There are different types of software tools are available in the market using MySQL, Microsoft Structured Query Language, Oracle, MongoDB. These are the different types of the tools we have to use for the to creating the database, updating the database and manipulating the database. Okay, that purpose we have to use for the database. Okay, the main purpose of the DBMS, database management system, in order to create the data, update the data, insert the data and manipulating the data. That purpose we have to use for the DBMS concept. It is a very important in the subject, that is one of the concept of the tool. Okay, in that DBMS today now I am going to discuss about relational operational concept. Today now I am going to discuss about relational operations. Today now I am going to discuss about that one concept of the DBMS. That concept name is called as relational operations. Okay, relational operations, it is the one concept of the DBMS. Okay, that main relational operations is nothing but called as it is a procedure query language. Procedural query language. Procedure query language. Actually, relational algebra, that is the one part of the DBMS concept. The relational algebra mainly consists of two languages. One language is called as procedure query language and the second one is called as non-procedure query language. Non-procedure query language. Non-procedure query language. Procedure query language is nothing but simply say that what to do and how to do. What to do and how to do. How to do means these two concepts followed by which language? Procedure query language. Procedure query language is nothing but what data are required regarding to create the database. Okay, clear? What data are required to create the database. Then how to do, which type of operations can be followed using the creation of the database. Then after creation of the database, then how to retrieving the data from the database. That purpose we have to analyze the which language? Procedure query language. Procedure query language. Then go for next one, non-procedure query language. Non-procedure query language simply say like that what to do. Simply what to do. There is no nothing like that. Simply how to do. That's it only. Clear about? Okay, DBMS, database management system. The main purpose of the database management system, in order to create the database, insert the database, manipulating the database using some different types of the software tools. Okay, what are the different types of the software tools? MySQL, Oracle, MongoDB. These are the different types of the tools can be used in order to creation of the software. Okay, after that, in that today now I am going to discuss about one topic. That topic name is called as relational operational concept. Okay, relational operational concept. Yes, first that relational, before going to relational operations, relational algebra. Relational algebra, it is a language. In it, there are two types of language is there. That language is called as procedure query language, and the second one is called as non-procedure query language. Procedure query language is nothing but simply what to do and how to do. Means what data are required to creating the database. Okay, after creating the data, how to retrieving the data from the database. These two followed by the which language? Procedure query language. And simply next one, non-procedure query language. Non-procedure query language simply what to do. Means how to write that query. No need to execution, no need to output. Simply evaluate that query only. That language is called as non-procedure query language. Okay, then go for next one. Yes, relational operations. In that there are some different types of relational operations. Okay, there are different types of the relational operations. First operation is called as select operation. First operation is called as select operation, and the second one is called as project operation. Second one is called as project operation, and the third one is called as rename operation. Third one is called as rename operations. Okay, these three operations is called as, one more name is called as unary. Okay, relational operations, there are some different types of operations. Unary operation, binary operations. Unary operations is nothing but always the unary operations can perform only single table. Unary operations always can perform single table. Means only unary operations can be followed by single table. Means in order to do retrieving the data from only single relation. That means called as different types of operation: select operation, project operation, and rename operation. Okay, and go for binary operation. Then go for binary operation. Then go for binary operation. There are some different types of binary operations. What are they? Binary operation. Union operation. Union operation comes to the binary operation. Union, intersection operation. Union operation, intersection operation, set difference operation. Set difference operation, and last one more operation is called as Cartesian product operation. Cartesian product operation, one more name is called as cross product operation. Cross product operation. Okay, let us see one by one. Clear about you? Relational operation. Relational operation is a always procedure query language. Procedure query language is nothing but means what to do and how to do. Yeah, simply say like that only. What is mean by procedure query language? Procedure query language is nothing but simply what data are required, how to retrieving the data from the database. That is called as which language? Procedure query language. Procedure query language. Yes, come to the topic, relational operations. Relational operations, there are some different types of the operations. There are some different types of operations. Yes, in that first operation is called as unary operation, and the second one is called as binary operation. Unary and binary. Unary operation and binary operation. Unary means the name itself only. Unary is nothing but it should be always perform only in a single table or in a single relation. Means using single relation retrieving the data from the database. That operations always called as unary operations. Unary operations. Unary operations, there are some different types of unary operations can be performed. What are they? First one is called as select operation, and the second one is called as project operation, and the third operation is called as rename operation. Rename operation. Comes to the binary operation, comes to the binary operation. The name itself only. Binary is nothing but always it should be performed two relations, relation R1 and relation R2, using two relations in order to retrieving the data from the database. That is called as which operations? Binary operations. Say there are some different types of binary operations. What are they? First operation is called as union operation, and the second one is called as intersection operation, and the third operation is called as set difference operation, and the fourth operation is called as cross product operation. One more name is called as Cartesian product operation. We'll see one by one. First operation is called as select operation. First operation name is called as select operation. Simply, what is mean by select? Select is nothing but to select the data from the relational database is called as select operation. Okay. How to represent the select operation? Yes, the notation of the select operation. The notation of the select operation are the syntax. The syntax of the select operation: sigma p of r. Okay, in this way we have to represent it as select operation. Yes, what is mean by select? Select is nothing but to select the data from the relational database. How to select the data? Regarding predicate operations. Perform the predicate operations. Based upon the predicate operation, that entire data can be retrieved from the relation. Clear? What is mean by select? Select is nothing but select the tuples from the relation using predicate conditions. Predicate is nothing but some different types of operations can be followed by predicate. Okay, we'll see one by one. What is mean by sigma? Sigma stands for select. Sigma stands for select. Select means select the tuples. Select the data from the table. Okay. P stands for predicate. P stands for predicate. Predicate conditions. Or one more name is called as predicate stands for conditions. Conditions is nothing but there are some different types of conditional operations. Different types of conditional operations. What are the different types of conditional operations? Equal to is also one predicate operation. Not equal, greater than or equal, less than or equal. These are some different types of predicate operations can be performed by P. Okay, clear about you? Yes. Select operation. In the select operation, how to represent a select operation? The notation for select operation: sigma p of r. Sigma stands for select. Select is nothing but select the tuples from the relational database. How to select the tuples from the database? Using some conditions. That condition's name is called as predicate. Okay. These are the some different types of predicate operations. Equal to, not equal to, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. These are the some different types of predicate operations. Using the predicate operations only select the data from the database. Okay. And the next R stands for relational. R stands for relational. Means relational. Relational is nothing but, suppose now I want to create a student table. Means student is also one relation. Suppose now I want to create one more table, employee relation. Employee is also one more relation. Suppose now I want to create one more relation, department relation. That is also one more relation name. Suppose now I want to create a university database. University is also one relation. Yes. Relation is nothing but is called as a database table name. Okay, using the relation only to select the tuples. Okay, we'll see one example. Select operation, select operation, select operation. Select operation. How to represent the select operation? Sigma P of R. Sigma P of R. Sigma stands for select, P stands for predicate, R stands for relation. We'll see one example. Yes, one example. Suppose now I want create a student database. Suppose now I want to create a student database. How to create the student database table? Yes, say there are some different types of commands or some different types of operations in order to create the database. Yes, how to create the database? Using which operation? Using which? Create operation. Using create operation in order to create the database. After creating the database, means database is created, then after using one more operation, that operation name is called as insert operation. Yes, what is mean by insert? Insert is nothing but first using create operation, the developer creating the database. Those database are created, then using insert operation, insert the data in the database. We'll see how to create the database, how to insert the data. Yes, the syntax of the creation statement: create table. My relation name is called as student relation. Yes, what is the syntax of the creation of the student relation? Create table name. Table name is called as student relation. In the student relation, now I want enter the student ID, student name, student marks, student phone number. Okay, these data enter into the which relation? Student relation. Yes, student ID. Okay, student ID is a which data type? Means number only. Number means which data type? Student ID, integer. Student ID, integer, and next one more column name, student name column. Yes, name. Student name column is a which data type? String only. String is nothing but called as a which data type? Varchar of the size. Here now I can assign the size is 50 characters of the student name, length of the size. Student ID is also one column, student name, and after one more column name is called as student marks. Student marks is also called as a integer data type, int, and one more column name, student phone number. Number is also which data type? Integer. Yes, close the bracket, semi-close. Yes, in this way, first we have to create the database. What is the syntax of the creation of the database? Create table. Table name is called as student ID, integer, student name, varchar, student marks, integer, student phone number, integer. Yes, whenever execute that this statement, yes, always DBMS followed by the MySQL software. Using MySQL software, whenever execute this statement, database table is created. Yes, that table looks like that. Student ID, student name, student marks, and last one more column name is called as student phone number. Yes, my table look like this. Yes, these 4 columns only. Now I can enter into the creation of the table. Yes, creating table name is called as student ID, integer, name, varchar, marks, integer, phone number, integer. Yes, whenever execute this table, whenever execute this statement, creation of the table is done. Creation of the table is done. Yes, then go for next operation. Then go for next operation, insert operation. Then go for next operation, insert operation. Yes, creation is done. Creation is done. Table creation is done. Then go for next one, insert. Insert. Yes, what is the syntax of the insert command? Insert command. Syntax of the insert command: insert into table name. My table name is called as insert. Insert into my table name is called as, not insert, my table or my relation name is called as student relation. Insert into, here table name is student table. Values. Insert into student values. Okay, 101 student ID. First one column name is called as student ID, and the second one is called as student name, some Ramu, or student marks 50, and student phone number. Yes, using insert command in order to insert the data in the database. Okay, what is the syntax of the insert operation? Syntax of the insert operation: insert into table name. Here my relation name is called as student relation. Insert into student values, 101 Ramu, means first column name is called as student ID, second column name is called as student name, the third column name is called as student marks, and the fourth column name is called as student phone number. Like that only we have to insert the all values. How many rows values we have to insert? That entire rows will be inserted in a single time only. Okay, this purpose we have to use for the which command? Insert command. Clear about you? How to create the database, how to insert the database using create command in order to insert the data. Using create command, then we have to create the database. After creation of the database, using insert command in order to insert the data. Table creation is done, values is inserted is done. Yes, my table look like this. After creating the data, inserting the data, my table look like this. First column name. Yes, what is mean by table? Table is nothing but it consists of number of rows and number of columns. Means the table means it consists of number of rows and number of columns. Student ID, student name, student marks. Yes, marks means student marks, and the last column name is called as student phone number. Yes, student phone number. Yes, how to create the table? Using which command? Create operation. What is the syntax of the create operation? Create table name. Here now I want to create a which relation? Student relation. Create table name is called as student relation, student ID, student name, student marks, student phone number. After creation of the database table is done, then go for using insert command. Insert the data means here now I want to insert the 3 rows. Student ID 100, 101, 103. Student name Ramu, some as your wish. Okay, marks 50, 60, 70, 4 numbers. Yes, after creation of the table, look like that. Look like that. Clear? Yes. Then comes to the topic. Topic is called as relational operations. In that relational operations, first operation is called as select operation. First operation name is called as select operation. Means what is the syntax of the select operation? Yes, syntax operation of the select. Select sigma p of r. Sigma stands for select, p stands for predicate, r stands for relation. R stands for relation is nothing but called as a student relation. Okay, p stands for predicate operation. P stands for predicate operations. Predicate operation means there are some different types of conditional symbols. Conditional symbols means what are the different types of conditional symbols? Greater than, equal to, not equal, greater than or equal, less than or equal to. These are some different types of conditional operations. Using conditional operations, select the data from the database table. Yes, my query, select the student marks. My query, listen, all of you listen. My query, select the student marks whose marks is greater than 50. Yes, all of you understanding my question? Yes, select the student marks whose marks is greater than 50. This is my query. Yes, how to represent this query? My query, select student marks whose marks is greater than 20. Greater than 50, not 20. In my table, starting marks is 50, 60, 70 na. Yes, select the student marks whose marks is greater than 50. Yes, how to represent as a question? How to represent? Yes, how to represent the select operation? Sigma p of r. Sigma p of r. Yes, sigma is nothing but select the data from the database. Yes, select means which columns we are need to select. Which columns we can be specified. The column name is called as student marks. Student marks column is there in the student relation. Say yes or no. Student marks column is there na? Yes. Student ID, student name, student marks. My query, select the student marks whose marks is greater than 50. Yes. How to represent a select operation? Select, yes, marks, student marks whose marks is greater than 50. Greater than 50. This is called as predicate. Predicate is nothing but conditions of the question. Predicate is relational. My relational name is called as student relation. Sigma p of r. P is nothing but predicate. Here the predicate is nothing but whose marks is greater than 50. R stands for relation. Yes, after whenever execute the statement, the output is called as the output only retrieving the two rows. Yes ma, student ID, student name, student marks, student phone number, these are the columns, and 101, 103 is called as rows. Okay, rows, number of rows and number of columns. Okay, here now my query is select the student marks whose marks is greater than 50. Okay, student ID, student name, student marks, one more column is called as Student phone number. Student phone number 101, 103. Name Hari, Kishore, mark 60, 70 and phone number. Yes, whenever execute this query, these are the output of the statement. Clear about you? Done? First operation is done? Yes. Select operation. Clear? Clear? Using create statement, using insert operation. Using create operation, create the database, create table, table name. Using insert operation, insert the data. Creation of the database is done. Inserting the data is done. Okay. Database table is created. Database table is created. Same like that. Suppose now I want to create one more table. Employee. Employee table. EMP table. Yes. Can anybody say how to create the employee table? Yes. How to create the employee table? What is the syntax of the employee table? Create table. Table name is called as employee table. Yes, this is the syntax of the creation table. Create table. Table name is called as employee. After creation of the employee table, inserting the data. How to inserting the data? Using which operation? Insert operation. Using insert operation. Insert into employee. My relation name is called as employee relation. Insert into employee relation. Relation employee values. Like that only we have to insert the data. Insert the data. Creation of the table is done. Insert the data is done. Then go for relational operations. First operation name is called as select operation. How to represent the select operation? Sigma P of R. Sigma stands for select. P stands for predicate operation. R stands for relational operations. Yes, using student relation, my query is select the student marks whose marks is greater than 50. Yes, whenever execute, write that query. First we have to write that query. Yes, how to represent the query? Sigma whose marks is greater than 50. P predicate condition is done. R stands for relation. Whenever execute the statement, the output of the statement is called as student ID, student name, marks, student phone number. Clear? Done. Yes. Comes to the relation operation. One operation is done. That operation name is called as select operation. Then go for second operation. Project operation. Then go for second operation, project operation. Project operation can be represented as, the notation of the project operation can be represented as, the symbol is pi. Project operation can be represented as symbol is pi. Yes, the syntax of the project operation, pi of A1, A2, A3, and so on, an of R. Yes, pi of A1, A2, A3, and so on, an. Yes, what is mean by A1, A2, A3, an? A1, A2, A3, and so on, an is called as attribute names. Attribute names is called as a column names. Means pi project operations in order to select the specific columns of the relations. That purpose we have to use for the which operation? Project operation. Yes, let us see one example of the project operation. Same example. Student example. Yes, in the student example, student ID, student name, student marks. These are the three columns are considered to the which relation? Student relation. In a student relation, consider total how many columns? 3 columns. What are they? One column name is called as student ID column, and the second one is called as student name column, and the third one is called as student marks column. Yes, using student relation, now I want to retrieving the only student ID and student marks column. Now I want to select the 2 columns. That 2 columns name is called as student ID and student marks column. Yes, how to represent a project operation? Pi of. Yes, my query select the student ID and student marks from the relation of student. How to represent a query? Student ID comma student ID comma student marks of relation. Which relation? From the student relation. Clear about you? In a student relation, now I want to retrieving the particular columns. In the student relation, actually total how many columns are there? 3 columns. One is called as student ID, and the second one is called as student name, and the third one is called as student marks. In that 3 columns, now I want to retrieving the specific columns, 2 columns only. One is called as student ID, and the second one is called as student marks. How to represent the query? Student pi of student ID, student marks of student. Yes, my output look like this only after executing this. Student ID and student marks. Yes, clear about you? What is mean by select operation? What is mean by project operation? Select is nothing but select the tuples, select the data using specific conditional operations or predicate operations. In order to select the columns or select the data from the predicate operations or predicate conditions. What is mean by project operations? Using project operation, select the specific columns, a particular relation. That purpose we have to use for the which operation? Project operation. Then go for next one. Third one is called as rename operation. Rename operation. The rename operation simply represented as the symbol is called as row. Okay, yes, the name itself only. What is mean by rename? The name itself only. Simply change the table name. That's it. Or change the columns. Suppose now I want to change my relation name. Student to students S. Yes, that purpose we have to use for the which relation? Rename operation. Simply row, new relation name, students from the relation. Which relation? Student relation. Simply my database table relation name is changed. Using which operation? Rename operation. Then go for next one. Binary operations. Yes, unary is done. Select, project, rename. These 3 operations comes to the unary. Means all these 3 operations should be performed only in a single relation. Comes to the binary operation. Binary, the name itself only. Binary means it should be performed 2 relations. Yes, what are the different types of binary relations? One is called as union, and the second one is called as intersection. Operation. Third one is called as union, intersection. Set difference operation. And the fourth operation is called as cross product operation. Yes, let us see one by one. Union operation can be represented as the symbol is union. Yes, next one. Intersection operation represented as simply reverse of the union operation. Set difference operation can be represented as minus. The symbol is minus. And cross production, one more name is called as Cartesian product operation. Cartesian product operation. One more name is called as cross production operation. The represented as multiplication. Yes, we'll see one by one operation. One by one operation. First operation name is called as union operation. Union operation. Simply the mathematical calculation of the one example. Mathematical calculation of the union operation. Yes, let us take two relation. A consists 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this relation B consider as 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, apply the union operation. Apply the union operation. How to represent the union symbol? Yes, A union B. A union B. Yes. What is mean by union operation is nothing but select the all tuples from the both relation, eliminating the duplicate values. That is called as which operation? Union operation. Yes. Yes, in a relation A consider as 1, 2, 3, 4. A consider as these values. First 1, 2, 3, 4. Again 3 and 4 is also considered a second relation. That relation name is called as B. Yes, leave that 3, 4. Then select the 5, 6. Yes, that is the output of the A union B. A union B. A union is B is nothing but select the all tuples from the both relation except eliminating the duplicate values. That is called as which operation? Union operation. Then go for intersection operation. Then go for intersection operation. Intersection operation. How to represent a intersection operation? Simply reverse direction of the union. Union. Yes, let us take two relation. Relation A 1, 2, 3, 4, and the relation B consider as 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, in a relation A consider as these values. Relation B consider as these values. Yes, perform the intersection operation. A intersection B means select the common tuples. Select the common tuples from the both relation. Yes, select the common tuples. In a relation A consider as 3, 4. And same like that the relation B consider as 3, 4. These two values common tuples. Common tuples is nothing but called as a one more name is called as a rows. Select the common tuples from the both relation. The output of the A intersection B is called as 3, 4. 3, 4. Clear about? Yes. Union is nothing but select the all tuples from the both relation, removing the duplicate values. Simply eliminating the duplicate values. Intersection operation means select the common values, select the common tuples from the both the relation. That is the difference between the union operation and intersection operation. Yes, clear? Then go for next operation name is called as next operation set difference operation. Union is done, intersection is done. Then go for next one set difference operation. Set difference operation. Set difference operation. Set difference operation simply represented as the symbol is minus. Minus. Yes. How to represent a set difference operation? Yes. Let us take two relation. A relation consider some values 1, 2, 3, 4. Let us take one more relation. B relation 3, 4, 5. Okay. 6. Yes. Yes. What is mean by set difference operation? Set difference operations means select the tuples from the in a single relation R1, those elements present in the relation R2 that eliminate that relation, that values should be eliminated. Means what is mean by set difference? Yes, set difference can be represented as A minus B. A minus B means select the all values from the relation R1. Yes, 1 comma 2, 1 comma 2, these two values present in the relation R1. Yes, 3 comma 4 is also present in the R1, but again 3 comma 4 present in the relation R2. That's why 3 comma 4 values can be eliminated, or 3 comma 4 values could be removed. Okay, what is mean by set difference? Means set difference is nothing but called as select the all values from the relation R1, but that those values not present in the relation R2. That is called as set difference operation. Yes, the last one more operation is called as cross product operation, called as cross product operation. That cross product operation should be represented as a Cartesian product. One more name is called as a Cartesian product operation. Yes, suppose let us take two relation R1 and one more relation R2. In a relation R1 consider as relation two tuples. One is called as student ID and student name. 100, 101, Hari, 101, Ramu. Yes, let us take two relation R1 and R2. Yes, student ID, student name, or student phone number. In a student number, relation R2 consider as 4 rows. Student relation R2 consider as 4 rows. Yes. Okay, student ID 101, 100, 101, 102, 103, A, B, C, D, phone number. Yes, what is mean by Cartesian product? Cartesian product means R1 multiply R2. R1 multiply R2 means the relation R1 multiply with R2 means the output is called as total. Yes, in a relation R1 consider as how many rows? 2 rows. In a relation R2 consider as how many rows? 4 rows. 2 4s are 8. The output of the relation and R1 and 2 it produce means it produce total how many tuples? How many tuples? Total 8 tuples. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 rows should be present whenever perform the Cartesian product. Yes, clear? Means first row of the relation R1 is mapped to the all rows of the relation R2. Again, second row of the relation R1 is mapped to the all relation of the R2. Means first row mapped to the relation R1, total how many? 4 rows. Again, second row relation R1 is mapped to the total mapped to the all rows of the relation R2, total how many rows? 4 plus 4, total it produce 8. This is called as cross production operation. Suppose relation R1 consider as 3 rows, relation R2 consider as 3 rows. It produce R1 multiply R2. How many rows it should be produced? 3 3s are 9. It produce total how many rows? 9. We'll see in the later one by one example. Thank you.